Take a pen and rewrite it. Welcome, welcome. You are here listening to Lead It, Real Talk with Women in Leadership. I am your host, Rhonda T. And let me bring on my guest for today. My guest for today is my sister, Cassandra Oliver. Welcome aboard, Miss Cassandra.
Oh
How
my
are you
gosh,
today?
thank you. Thank you. It is such a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for having me.
Oh, always, anytime, anytime. So I like to begin with my motto, and it is if I can create my legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then I consider myself a leader. So I
Ooh.
thank you. And today we're talking about women in leadership. So
Mhm.
tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I'll be glad to. I have to tell you, I am a spoiled person. I'm not going to disagree about that. I'm not even going to pretend about that. I am the baby in my family. I have an older sister, and then I am married to my awesome husband, Brian K. Oliver, and I am blessed to have two wonderful children, a 14-year-old who is just the absolute sweetest, and she's my mirror. I'm her mirror, should I say better, Brianna. And then I have a wonderful 11-year-old son named Bryce. And I am spoiled beyond belief to have them in my life because they make raising them so easy. So
Mhm.
I can't complain whatsoever. Besides, no one's listening anyway.
I know, right?
But I am very fortunate to have those wonderful people in my life and to be able to let them call me mom. Can't get better than that.
Right. Awesome. You froze up for a minute, and I hope it's not my
Oh,
service over here, but I didn't hear the
right? It's
last
always
part.
technology. I said, I'm very spoiled to have them.
All right
You
now,
can't be
awesome.
complain. I cannot complain.
So we brought you on because you're the owner of KWA Group Branding. And I guess one of the things I would like to know is how long have you had your business?
So let me share. I am the co-owner along with Brian, my husband. And in truth, we've been doing this. We have over 20 years of industry experience, and our company is a promotional products company. And the reason why I say this is because it's not familiar with most people. When you say promotional products, they're thinking of commercials or something else. So we tell you anything that your logo can go on, we will help you promote your brand, promote your event, and promote your life. We've been doing this since we were students at FAU, Atlantic University in Boca Raton. And whenever a club or a department would need something, Brian would be the one to go get it, do it, process it, all that good stuff. And I'd be there in the background helping with the things that aren't seen. So we've been doing this for all through our years, adult life, past college, graduation, and such. Once I retired as a high school principal, got bored. And I counted my days and I realized that I had so much more time ahead of us. So Brian and I started talking, and we looked back at our goal setting, because Brian and I had, from the time we married, we always set goals and we had written them down, and we looked back and said, okay, once we're done with what we thought were the most high points of our career, we'd open our own business. And hence KWA Group was born. We already had the knowledge, we had the background. Brian's always been in sales. I have to say, he's always done sales. But for me, there was a learning curve, coming from the education world. I was like,
Yeah.
let me go to the part of business that I know, the operation side. I can handle operations until I learned the techniques of how to become a salesperson. And I'm not gonna
Mm.
lie, it was a learning curve. I was like, shucks, if they ask me for one more thing, why can't it be blue? Why can't it be purple? And I only get one. We're not a retail store. We're not a retail store. There's certain parameters that have to follow. So I had to learn that, because I turned around, I was like, well, yeah, sure, you can get it. And Brian would tell me, no, we don't do
No.
one-offs, Cassandra. It doesn't work that way. So learning the promotional products industry was a great experience for me. And I am so happy that I chose to go into this industry because the barriers of entry into promotional products is very small and very, very little. What people don't know is that this is one of the fields that you don't need a college degree to do, right? You
Mhm.
don't need formal education to become a promotional product salesperson, or much less own your own business. That desire is the only thing that you have to do. And within the industry, there are plenty of educational opportunities to do it. What makes Brian and I unique in this field is that there aren't many people that look like us that are in the
Mm.
field. So there's over about 25,000 distributors within the nation. And there's less than 1% that are people of color that look like Brian and myself. And let's bring that even further. There's less than that percentage of women of color who are Haitian descent. So being in this industry, it's such a wonderful sense of pride for me to not only own our business, but I have to toot. We rock our business. We are awesome at
Oh.
what we do. We are representative of a professional Black company.
Mhm.
Um, a married couple who only handles business during business because we want to keep our marriage during marriage times. I want to stay married. So we have that great definition and we talked about it. I'm not going to fit. We had to talk about it. We had to plan about it. We had to drop contracts about it so we can behave accordingly to maintain what we've built before we started this business. So that's the small, long part of our background, should I say, about KWA Group. And we're still rocking it now.
Rock it, rock it. That is awesome. So, one of my other questions was you kind of answered like what made you decide to just walk out on faith? What made you decide to just really just like okay, I'm sick of this doing this, and I'm just ready to move on to this.
You said the operative word faith. That faith component is no joke. Um, I had 20 plus years in education, right? So you're waking up doing the same thing. Your body gets that natural memory of doing things for 20 something odd years. And it was hard for me. I'm not going to pretend like I woke up glamorous in
Yeah.
it. Waking up every day at 7 o'clock, being someplace at 7 o'clock as an administrator was a change to, okay, there's no one telling me what to do. I have to design my own schedule. That faith component, I remember when we first started applying for our licensing and business credentials and finding out how we needed to do this on our own. I was like, no one's going to check me, so I don't have to do it. But that faith component, right? That faith component came in and said, if you don't do it, there's going to be a problem. And you know, when you ask God for something and then he starts showing you that you can do it, you're like, I'm not sure. Maybe not. There were problems. There
Yes.
were problems that started arising for us. I wasn't comfortable in my skin, not doing anything, not pushing for what we had said in paper so many years ago. So if we had asked God for it and I'm going to give it to you, that faith component, I was like, God, I don't see it. I know what you said, but I don't see the money coming in. How are we going to feed these two children? They've gotten accustomed to eating. We want to keep that going. How do we live off of this? And that faith component kicked in immediately. We started telling our friends, our family, look, we're opening the business. This is what we're doing. And the orders started coming in. The grace started coming in. Oh, yeah, I remember you guys used to do this. About time. I was wondering what you were doing with all your time. And
Mhm.
people gravitated to us. They're like, well, we remember you used to do this back then. So it's an easy sell. It's an easy understand. We know that you two behave differently when you're handling professionalism behaviors. We understand that you um, won't take our money and run. We weren't going to be fly by night. So when we opened in 2017 under our abilities, that faith is the only reason why we sustained. Our faith was the only reason why we continued and pushed to make KWA what it is now, celebrating December, our 5th year in business, all on our own. Uh,
Yeah.
we had to make it happen. We had to make it. The vision that we saw, if we did
Uh-huh.
not keep going, we would not be able to occupy the space that we're in. When we talk to people and they said, well, we never knew Black people did this, right?
Mm.
Or, wow, you sell this? Oh, can you do this? Can you do this? We are toe to toe with any of the major companies that are out there. We can produce large volumes. As a matter of fact, one of our clients handles a government entity, and we service all of their needs for promotional products. And
Mhm.
that is what is surprising to people when they're like, I didn't know. Oh, so you can't, well, can you do, well, in that case, here's the contract. And we say thank you and we keep going. So that faith component definitely comes up and sustains us and
Mhm.
helps us keep going. Definitely.
Awesome. What has been one of your most difficult situations in KWA Group?
Oh, there are many, right? There are many. And the most challenging part is dispelling the myth. Dispelling the myth. What do I mean by that? It's because people are used to shopping from home now, right? And they equate anything that they want to one of the major drop ship opportunities that they're used to, or they assume that because they know you, they can call you after business hours. That has been the largest part of a challenge for us, to be able to crave our niche, set boundaries. Setting boundaries was the hardest part for me. Honest to goodness, it was the worst part, and I find myself constantly slipping back into that component because we want to see our business become successful. We want to lay an opportunity that our children will be able to pivot off of. We want them
Mhm.
to be able to decide if they need a launching pad, KWA Group will be there for them. We don't expect them to go into our field by any means, but at least they'll have a launching pad, right? And
Mhm.
the boundary component for me was the hardest. If someone would call me, sure, let me get to it now, and Brian would look at me, he's like, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Ooh,
What you doing? I'm like, oh,
he had
let's
to,
do it right now. He's like,
he
oh,
had to
we
get you
won't.
right.
We won't.
He had to get you
Hello, yeah,
right.
check me. Like, don't check me, boo. Brian, check me, boo. And he's like, no, we're not doing that at 10 o'clock at night. They knew they needed it. They knew they were at work, setting appointments for their hair, doing anything that they needed to do while they're at work. We do what we need to do while we are at work. We have a family to tend to. We have our lives to tend to. We need to sleep. So no, you
Mhm.
won't be handling business for anybody after
Right,
hours. And he says, if
right.
you are out of the office, you are out of the office. And that was the most challenge. And I'm still struggling with it. It is such a challenge
I
to me
know.
to set those office hours for ourselves, right? Especially when you're in a business, and you'll hear people say, well, if you're not working in your business 24 hours, then you're not going to be successful. No, we got to get a work life balance. So that's my
Right,
challenge. That is
right,
definitely the hardest
right.
part
And
for
if,
me,
and if you work
working
in
and
24
owning.
hours, and if you work in 24 hours, when are you gonna rest? And will your company be
When,
around because
when,
you get sick and tired? And so yeah, I,
and I want to do
I totally get it.
it.
I totally get it.
Definitely, definitely.
Mhm. So let's move into some of these leadership questions. Like, um, what what can you say? What do you see leadership as?
That's a loaded question. That is definitely a
Unload it,
loaded
unload it,
question,
please. Unload it. Go ahead and
right?
unload.
Let's unpack that. It's not just the person who's on in charge. Our philosophy, and which has sustained me from my parents, and it was very satisfying to know that Brian operated in the same capacity. Leadership
Mm,
for us is servitude. Who are we serving? How are we helping our community? How are we helping other people? What can we do of ourselves that is going to benefit somebody else? And that's the approach to leadership that I still maintain, and I live by, because it's been the most gratifying. to be called a leader. Thank you for whatever that means. And I appreciate that. But it's, what am I doing to help someone? What am I doing to serve in a capacity? Even if it's from picking up paper from the trash. If I can do it, there's no reason why anybody else can do it. There is no position that is too small to occupy if you are a leader. And that's where we live. That's how we operate. That's what we do. Um, that's how I view a leader. If you're on that crystal tower and not engaging with everybody that you're working with, how do you truly know that you're going in the right direction? How do you know that you are accomplishing the goals of that organization or those set of people? How do you know you're in touch if you're not involved with their desires, if you're not able to work what they do, if you're not able to understand their point of view of work to make something happen? If you can't do it, how can you complain about it not being done? So that servitude component is huge for us. That, for me specifically, if I can serve and help, then I accept the term leadership. Oh, I just lost you. Lose you? I think you're mute.
You didn't lose me. You didn't lose me. I am here. So one of my questions, what do you feel your leadership style is? And how do people work with you and the way you are as a leader?
When I am in the leadership position, I really rely on my education background. What does that mean? I teach. I'll teach you what I'm looking forward to, how I want you to present yourself when you're working with me. I will model it for you. And the reason why I behave that way is because I don't want you, the people that I'm working with, I don't want you to not know that I have a level of expectation. I desire excellence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm firm. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
firm, and I'm certain on what I want and how I would like to see the end results. So if I can't communicate to you what the end goal is, I can't lead you to get to that point. If I have not fleshed it out, if I've not spent time thinking about it, or if I was seated as the end user coming to work with Cassandra, how would I meet her expectations? So I stop and break down, this is what needs to happen first, then we'll build from here, and we'll build and we'll build and build until we get to the point of satisfaction. So
Mm-hmm.
working with me, I've not, it's challenging for some folks. It is challenging for some folks because they've told me, oh my goodness, you're serious. Well, yeah. I don't, garbage in, garbage out. I expect certain things. I expect behaviors. And my biggest reward is seeing people rise to that extent,
Mm-hmm.
to that example or that expectations, or have learned something from me, learned to do it differently,
Mm-hmm.
or change their perspective. Uh, when I was in education, the first thing, whenever a female is assertive and is clear about what she wants, we get all these adjectives and all these names, right, that your mother didn't put on your birth certificate. Let's put it like that. Right? And that was my point of entertainment, because now I realize I have challenged you and I'm not about to back down. I'm going to occupy my space, and guess what? You're going to meet what I want you to do. The apologies that came afterwards, I'm like, don't worry about it. Did you learn? Let's go from here. Because I know what I'm explaining to you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to harm or belittle you. Let's get the bag, like they say. Let's make things happen for the people that we're working with. So my leadership style is clear. And if I am wrong, please let me know. I will apologize. I have no problem apologizing and learning and sitting side by side. Tell me what it is that you need from me as a leader so I can adapt so you can grow. Because if you're not growing, there's nothing that's happening with our relationship, right? If you're not moving to your next level, even if it's that you separate from our relationship, if you have not grown from interacting with me,
Mm.
you don't need to be at my table. You don't need to be you don't need to be in my company. You don't need to be in my table. Because if you're stagnant, you're going to be that block that's going to hinder me, because you don't want to change. You don't want to see things in a different perspective. You don't want to introduce new ideas. Why do I need you? Why are you here? So if I can grow you, I expect that return. I know I'm being invested in. If you're growing and I see the change in you, then I know how to become a better leader. Okay, Cassandra, this didn't work. Tweak it. Go back to the drawing board. Let's do better next time.
Wow. They said a mouthful. So that does lead me into this question.
Yes.
You know your worth.
It took a while, right? It did.
Yeah.
It took a while. And the first time I got passed up for a promotion is when it hurt me. And I'm not going to say it was while I was in my professional course. It was while I was working in a movie theater, right? I was working at the concession stand, and I had been asking the whole time. I said, please, can I go work the box office? I want to learn how to do the box office. And the change in pay was all of 35 cents.
Ooh.
But let me tell you, back then I wanted those 35 cents, right?
Yeah, I want to get off the popcorn.
I want to do something else. I want to learn more about the box office. And there were people coming in off the street, applying for the job and getting the box office. So I went down to our managers and I had asked all of them. I put it in writing during my evaluation. I would be getting 5 stars and all this great stuff. You're a wonderful employee, blah, blah, blah. So why can't I get the box office? Why can't I get the box office? Finally, it came to a head where I wrote the corporate office and I complained. And the letter I got back was these are the changes that we're going to make. And this is back in the 90s. The general manager of the theater I was working at, she came in and she brought me a copy of the letter that I had written. Because back then we didn't have computers, so it was handwritten, right? I'm dating myself. I am dating myself. She brought me back a copy of it and she said, well, what did you think was going to happen when you wrote this? And I said, if you're in my face, obviously something happened, right? Something happened. If you hear talking to me about it, something happened. If you weren't so concerned about this little piece of paper, you would not have spoken to me about it. And that moment made me realize, I don't have to tolerate what you're giving me. I don't have to take what it is. I started breathing in my air and accepting my space. I'm better than this. If you don't want to give me the box office, I'll go make and find a space where I can be in the box office. Since then, I have pushed to do the things that I wanted to do, learn the full experience of a space that I'm in or event organization, learn it to the depth that I want to. And when I'm done, I'm done. So I won't have any regrets of not exploring the whole gasp about it. So that one time made me realize, and just 35 cents. 35 cents is not much to a high school student when you're living with your parents. But that 35 cents, people coming off the street, nowheres, going and getting something that I wanted, I felt, why can't I? I don't care what your reasoning was. I don't care what it was to be awarded and give me certificates and win competitions, but I can't go do box office. Is there some so that really angered me. Now I really want to win the box office. What is the box office that I'm not getting? There must be some secret in the box office. When they get extra popcorn. Your mind starts going crazy.
Well, maybe they just felt you
did it.
You just did a great job in giving extra butter.
Oh, my sugar. And that's what they told me. They told me that my numbers, when processing the lines, my lines would go the fastest because they timed me and they're doing transactions, all these data points. I don't care. I want to go to the box office. That's what you want. I don't care. Having 2 squirts, I want it to be me. So I
Yes. And
leave it
you know what?
on.
With that being
And
said,
that value.
in your business, if you saw someone that you knew that could move up, that was worthy of, being a leader in your business, how would you handle that? Since you experienced that
That
at the
is,
popcorn and the butter machine,
yeah, yeah,
how would you
yes,
do it?
yes, yes. I have to tell you, um, what you see in others is not always what they see in themselves.
Yes.
Uh, I've learned that the hard way. There are certain people who are comfortable being comfortable.
Mm.
So we
Oh, you
have that
gotta say it.
conversation. What is it that when we're hiring, this is what you're doing, this is what your position is. But in 2 to 3 years, we want to make sure that you're asking for more responsibility. We want to make sure that you want to do more. We want to see you grow. On the onset, is this something that you are interested in? We've had people tell us, yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Come year one, you're still doing the same thing. You haven't changed. We've thrown opportunities to
Mm.
you. We talk about the things that we would like to see you do. What do you want to do? Oh, I'm fine where I am.
Mhm.
This is okay. I like what I'm doing. It's okay. Then it's like,
I have a
okay,
peace of mind.
thank
I
you
can
for
go
your
home
time.
and relax.
Because you know how
Yeah.
people are. This not my stuff. I ain't got to worry about it. This ain't mine. we all do it. Come, you look at that
Yes.
clock. Ain't nothing.
Yes.
We all
Yes.
do it. And those are the people that we pocket. We pocket. If this is where you want to be, we know you're comfortable, and we will not expect more of you. If you have chosen and you accepted, let's grow and go. Oh, we take you with us on our trips when we're going to conferences and conventions. Let's go. Let's go find out. What do you
That's
think
right.
about this? We bring you in our Tuesday meetings. Let's find out, because Brian and I have staff meeting on Tuesdays, and we're planning and we're discussing what's going to happen next. And we're asking that person, you want to do this? What do you think we should go? Is there a better opportunity? Are we doing this um, the wrong way? Is there a way to be more efficient in the way we're handling this client? I'm having a challenge with this client. What do you think I should do? And we'll follow up. We will take that advice. We will do what they're doing, or let them take the lead on that account and keep it moving. There's no reason for us to let pride be the reason why we're not successful. Is the company making their numbers? That's important. As long as it's happening and the client is satisfied and they're getting the products that they desired, who
Mm.
cares who serviced them? Who
Mhm.
cares? If I've grown somebody from entry level to now we're working on sales and Brian supports that and we're going at the pace that we need to be, keep it pushing. If that is not your plan, then we say, okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. We really
Yeah.
respect and appreciate you. Here are some other opportunities. May not be with
Mhm.
us, but here are some other opportunities, because we don't want you to sabotage us either.
Right.
We don't
Right.
want you to go, you know, how people can be mean when their feelings are hurt.
Yeah. When they feelings are truly hurt. Mm.
Ooh, when their feelings are hurt. So keep it
Yeah.
moving. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. What difficulties as a leaders you see amongst other women?
You know, I don't know if it's a female trait or
Mhm.
just a human trait in general. Um, Everything that does not go your way is not a personal attack. It's not a personal affront. If someone is discussing something with you and it has an opposite view, it's not a challenge to your core. We need, the only way disconnects happen is, in my opinion, is there a lack of information. What is it that you don't know from what I'm thinking, and what is it that I don't know about what you're thinking that is making us, become tete-a-tete? Why are we in that I'm about to kill you stage? Because there's some information missing on both of our sides, right?
Yeah.
And that is, whoo, sugar. That is what I have noticed in leadership, that people get stuck to that perch of, this is how I feel, this is how we're gonna do it. It's worked 30 million times before, and you ain't about to come change it. You little person, Susie, you come lately, you're not
Right.
about to change what I'm doing. That has ingrained in people, right? They've because they've done it for so long, it's become part of their personality. And so once
Mm-hmm.
anything changes from that, they become um they become scared. They feel like you are trying to hurt them, and those stereotypes come out of them, like, oh my, I didn't know. Wow. Now you're talking about my dog? Like, wow,
Yes.
really? Why are we why are we getting
Yes.
so personal? Why are we attacking each other? That
Yes.
has been the biggest challenge that I've seen in leadership, because the fear of changing causes leaders to become stagnant. And then when they have to change, that change comes so abruptly for them that they are
Mm-hmm.
moved out of the way. And I've seen some leaders that I've admired who have been doing things for so long, that wave comes in and moves them, because they didn't want to adapt, they didn't want to change, and they didn't want to grow. They were going to keep doing it the way they've always done it. Once they've been moved out of the way, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, oh,
Mm.
it they age immediately 5 years, right? They
Ooh.
age, they're stressed, they're mad, they are doing whatever they can just to hold on to the identity of what they used to know. But that reason of being so staunch in the way they were is what caused them to have that difficulty. Leaders have to grow, leaders
Right.
have to change, leaders have to learn. You're dealing with multiple personalities, you're dealing with multiple styles of things. Your way is not the only way to get something done. Whew,
Mm-hmm.
that I've
In
seen
itself,
is
in
a
itself.
hard pill for some people. Oh, it is hard. It's hard. And checking it in myself is even harder.
So that's probably my next question. Your challenges, and that's probably one of the biggest challenges with women in leadership. And so, do you think that
Mhm.
women, especially in our different cultures, can actually do better in helping each other, collaborating? What are your thoughts on that?
I am glad to be alive in this epoch, because I could not imagine my personality in the times my parents grew up, or before, or any generation before me. We are
Mm-hmm.
now where in a space of time where it is understood that women can lead, that women need to be supportive of each other. There's not only one person in leadership capacity. We all can fix each other's crowns, and it's not taking anything from you. Just because you are found in a support position this time for another female leader, if she's successful, that's a great reflection on you, because you're part of her team.
Mm,
If she's successful, you contributed
right.
to that. If she's successful, you make sure she continues to be successful, because now you can learn from skills. What got her to that point? Glean and pick and add those jewels to your crown. Where was she deficient? Can you help her? If she's not receiving your information, are you giving that language in a way that she's not hearing it? Can you learn to change to speak in a way that she will hear it? There's no reason why we have to be passive anymore as women. Those character traits that are not on our birth certificate, those are wonderful traits to have. Those are amazing characteristics. And just because you didn't like it does not mean that I'm going to change it, because
Right.
it's in me. Because when I tried to suppress it, it hurt. When I tried to shrink into those spaces, it hurt. I was not comfortable. God was rolling that seed on me, and He would not let me be. So if I don't live in the way I should feel comfortable in, what am I doing?
Right.
Why am I doing it? How come I'm doing
Mm,
it? Those that hurt too much. that hurt too much. So women have to be supportive to one another. We have to accept and take this epoch for what it is and change the cultural norms, change the group dynamics, change our expectations on how we view our children. So when they are interacting with one another, that they're not stuck in gender roles, they're not stuck in specific behaviors that are equated or attributed to women.
Mm-hmm.
They understand that this is a tool, this is just a portion of themselves. So occupy, fill up the space, help one another,
Mm.
find another female and find out what she wants to do. Let's help her. Ask her, can she help you? Why can't we ask one another? Why do we have to be so stuck on, if I tell her, she's gonna go take it from me? No, she can't do it the way I do it because I'm the only one who can do it. I'm the me. I'm the her. There's only one of me. So however I do it is going to be the way I do it. But I can
Right.
ask you to help me. I can ask you to help me. I can ask you to teach me. We have some wonderful women that are doing things and you would never know it. You would never know that they are the ones that are behind the driving force because they'll tell you they grew up in where they knew they had to be quiet. So I'm not of that generation. I'm not, if quiet is what got you to this point, I'm going to do what you did, but be out about it because there are other people who are watching me that I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know. There are people who are expecting me to do things. I have goals and expectations of myself that I want to meet. I'm about to be loud and I'm taking everybody with me. Let's go. Let's go. Women over here, women over there, women across the world, women across the country. You know something that I don't know. Help me so I can help you. We have to. We have to, or
Right.
we're not going to make it into the next phase of whatever
Right.
life is bringing.
Awesome. Awesome. That is Cassandra Oliver, you guys.
Hey.
So what other type of, I know you have your business. What other things that are you involved in that you do in your community?
In the community. Oh, we are fortunate. We are absolutely fortunate. One of we'll start backwards and then what I've had the longest membership in. Our family is Black in Jail of America Incorporated family. And I am a new member and our family are new. Learning that our community, the people that look like us, occupy these spaces, that was wow, that was amazing to me. I did not know that there are people like me who have certain desires and goals that they want to make sure that all children experience. And
Mm-hmm.
finding that in that organization was crazy to me. Giving children experiences and opportunities that would not have, had it not been Jack and Jill, they would not have received it. That's huge for us. Um, I am also a member and currently part of the inaugural class of board of directors for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women in South Palm Beach County. And I joined that organization because the term of advocacy, I did not know what it was like to experience the Black perspective. I'm raising a
Mm-hmm.
Black daughter. I view things with a Haitian lens because that's how I grew up. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to learn what it is. Serving in that organization has been phenomenal for me because I am learning what it is to advocate for women. And that just
Mm-hmm.
puts more air in my clouds. It just makes me that
Yeah.
much more confident in what I do, the advocacy piece. And I am also a member of Sorority Incorporated, where I've served as a past chapter president, and seeing that at the collegiate level of community action and serving those that don't have a voice, it just fell in line of all the things that we do. And I occupy leadership positions or chairing committees or things like that in all of these organizations, from what we do outside of our company and what KWA Group does within our company. Also, we are there serving food to the community. We are collecting backpacks. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just a matter of writing the check. we will be there with you, and you'll find us in anybody's t-shirt doing the same thing, because giving back to others.
All right. Now, I don't think they heard the
How?
because your mic went out or something.
Oh my
What sorority you said you attend? Are part of?
Oh, I am a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Oh, and a past chapter president of a very large chapter in Broward County. Uh, Sugar, that look,
Sure.
I know we don't say any organization is better than the other, but this was
Uh,
the best for me.
for you,
This was the best,
for you.
right?
Nothing
For me,
wrong.
this was the best. Definitely.
Awesome,
And we
awesome,
serve in all of those organizations. Service to others is what keeps me motivated to be a leader in those perspectives. Yeah.
awesome. So, what? Why do you think me, invited you
Hmm.
on this show? Why did I
Oh,
choose you?
sugar. I am glad you chose me, right? Let's start there, because I'm very happy to see you grow in this phase. It is it's a jewel in my crown to be in company with someone who wants to do things. It means that my personal goals and my personal philosophies are being reflected in something that you do. Right? You don't want
Mhm,
people around you who are not similarly minded, who want more for themselves. So I hope that there's something in me of the things that we've interacted with that reflects that part of you, that that it's okay that we mesh, because you on your own right have been a leader on, oh my gosh, I know I've taken notes from you in conversations that we had, like, no, we're not gonna do that. You okay? And I'll accept it, and I'm like, okay, well, how should we do it? That reflection, to see that, to be that part of an image, to see another Black woman doing things, to be in a leadership role, or um, owning their own as
mhm.
you do. I hope that parallels some way of how I got here to be with you on this episode. I hope, and we
Yes,
are we somewhere connected on
yes,
that.
yes, yes. You are totally correct. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Over the years that you joined up under my leadership of NCBW, I saw you. You know, you're not difficult to see because you are a leader and
Thank
you
you.
recognize that you are a leader, and I
Yes.
can appreciate that. I appreciate seeing you. I saw where you begin this KWA group, and it just like wow, like just grew. Like I'm like awesome. And many times we have different conversations about different things that we want to see in our community, and we want to see to help others
Yes.
grow. And you get in that
Yes.
conversation with me, and you be like, "Okay, now, sugar, this," and I just get a thrill out of people that don't want to stay stagnant. You want to see a
Yes.
change. You
Yeah.
want to do things different. And I'm proud that you walked out on faith and you say, this is what I'm
Oh,
going to do. Now, that is something you're teaching me in. Walking out on faith
oh
on
God.
people's job and doing your own thing and just growing it
Okay.
to where you
Oh
want it to
yes.
be. Because all the time we
Yes.
put in with them, we could be putting in that
Yes.
time with what we are
With
trying to do
ourselves.
for ourselves. And
And it's
over the years, I've
amazing.
seen many women, especially during COVID time, doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to think about that because if it ever became something like that past COVID-19 at the beginning of that, and they shut down everything, and some people
Mm-hmm.
lost their
Mm-hmm.
jobs, they lost their
Oh,
families, they lost their jobs, they lost
right.
just
Right.
all type of money that they were doing. And
Right.
then a lot of them decided, okay, I'm not going to be defeated, and I'm not going to go through this. But then a lot of them didn't know how to move forward.
You're
How?
telling the truth.
How? So we need to continue to teach women, look, you are just as strong as you want to be.
Yes.
I can encourage you, I can push you, but where do you want to be?
Where
And
do
you
you want
already
to
know,
be?
I'll say it in everybody can't be in my circle.
Ooh,
you know
that's right.
you just
That is true.
yeah everybody can't be in my circle. Where do you want to be? That doesn't mean I'm not
Hmm.
a respectful person. But right now,
Right.
I'm striving. And I
Right.
have goals that I want to do. So I don't have
Right.
time for the negativity. So I
Right.
do, I
Right.
appreciate all the positive that doing our
Yes.
talks and the things that we're trying to do together. It just
Yes.
is
Isn't
just
it empowering?
amazing. Yes,
Oh
yes.
God.
So
Yes.
I
Yes.
really appreciate you, and that is why um, I invited you to be a guest
Oh
on these
gosh. Thank you. Thank you.
Re-
Thank you. Because I tell you,
real talk, real talk,
you can
real
feed,
talk.
you can feed
So
off of that.
um,
Yes.
we
Yes.
thank you, Cassandra Oliver and KWA, and tell Mr. Brian I say thank you for lending you to us today, because
Oh,
I know you all are very busy, but I do appreciate you all, and I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. And there you have it.
oh,
Lead it. Real talk. Women in Leadership with Rhonda T. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.